Morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to the People's Palace of San Francisco. Let me begin by thanking all of the religious and community leaders that are here gathered today together. I thank all the city agencies. I thank our Immigrant Rights Commission, our Human Rights Commission. I want to thank so many people who have come together with our supervisors and our office and all of our friends of our immigrant communities. Today is a day that we stand together as one city of people. I also want to note, and I'm very thankful to a lot of the organizations, legal, social, immigrant-oriented, religious-oriented, and particularly those members of our Muslim and Arab communities in San Francisco and the Bay Area for being brave, for being selfless, for making your city our city as well. Today, we are participating in a historic signing ceremony of the non-cooperation with identity-based registry ordinance. That's a mouthful of words. But basically, we're saying we are not going to approve a registry in their city or in this country. All of the supervisors, and I know Supervisor Cohen and Supervisor Safai led this, but I know Supervisor Ronan was instrumental in making sure that we have accountability in this. All of the supervisors, President Breed and everyone else here today, work together with our police departments, our health departments, our immigrant rights groups, all of the public safety-oriented groups. Our airport was even engaged. I want to say thank you again for leading a great airport in San Francisco, because that was the groundswell of the initial place that we registered our opposition to the travel ban. This signing today reaffirms our sanctuary city. And despite what's happening nationally, we'll continue the fight against discrimination and anti-immigrant sentiments. You know, our San Francisco Bay Area is home to 2.2 million immigrants, of which 250,000 are Muslim. And of those, an estimated 60% were foreign-born. In San Francisco, we have 150,000 immigrants from all walks of life who are permanent residents of this city and of this country. For thousands of the people who may consider living in the shadows, I want you to know, because of your immigrant status, we as a city will continue the fight for you. You know, our American cities are great when we embrace the immigration and diversity that is at the core of our urban settings. And we support anyone who wants to work hard and invest in the future, no matter where they come from. Now is the time that all of us, just like we are today, coming together, making sure we work and we live for each other. We are joining cities across the country today as part of the Immigration Day of Action. We are asking for comprehensive, realistic immigration reform, and with our partners, we'll continue the fight against the wall, the fight against travel bans, and the fight against random ID checks. And because of our solidarity, just this past March 15th, we enjoyed for the moment a milestone in our fight when 2 federal judges blocked the president's travel ban. It was not just a victory for victims, it was a victory for all of us. So we're going to continue that momentum today. By signing this ordinance, I commit to you that the City of San Francisco will not support an order that aims at dividing families, tearing down the social fabric of our city and of our country. You know, these are trying times, and the City of San Francisco is taking a step forward, safeguarding the religious freedoms this country promises for all of its residents. Well, we don't just promise, we make it work. And we'll rise above this adversity. We will practice tolerance, and we'll embrace diversity that defines our city. And beyond today, we'll continue to push for comprehensive immigration reform plans that ensure the fair treatment of everyone inside as well as outside the United States. A reform that protects our children and our loved ones regardless of immigration status. Let us continue to make San Francisco great and show everyone that this is a place for all families, independent of race and religion, and that we can plant our roots and commitment here to thrive as a city for everyone. Thank you for being here today. Supervisor Malia Cohen.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for joining us today. This is a beautiful occasion to come together as one united community and one city family. There are several moments that I'm most proud of in my now 7 years of service on the Board of Supervisors. And this ordinance by far is one of the most proud pieces of legislation that I've worked on. I want to thank the many people that assisted in making this happen. I've got a list of stakeholders with whom I coordinated with over the past several weeks to make this a reality. I specifically want to recognize the Asian Law Caucus, Asian Americans Advancing Justice, the Council on American Islamic Relations, also known as CARE, the American Civil Liberties Union, also as the ACLU, the Arab Resource and Organizing Center, and many community members that wrote emails, that made phone calls, that walked and did the work to help organize the community. Because collectively we stand together. This is a victory for all of us. I also want to recognize the colleagues that came together to unite and support this legislation that was passed unanimously. And I want to thank Hillary Ronen specifically for her leadership and getting us over the hump. I want to just give a personal story. On January 24th, I introduced this legislation alongside with the mayor, and it was really in our own protest and in our own a legislative way to reject any attempt from the federal government to force our city, our home, San Francisco, to force us into participating in the creation of a registry or some sort of database for people based on religious beliefs, national origin, or ethnicity. Like many of you, you probably sat at home and you watched the news and you became filled with a lot of anger. And after that anger subsided, I was filled with an incredible call to action. And that is what precipitated and led us to where we are here today. So it is a great privilege to serve the city and county of San Francisco. And I want to thank everyone that was instrumental in making this happen. To the commissioners, to the department heads, to everyday people that just united with us. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Wasn't sure what order we were going to speak in, so sorry about that. In the tradition Malia started and the importance of today, my name is Supervisor Asha Safai, so we'll begin with Assalamu alaikum. All right, and the importance of what that means is it really means peace be unto you, and unto you be peace is the response. And we are standing here today, I stand here today as the son of a Muslim father, of a Christian mother, with the name Asha Ali Safai. And if we are standing up together and coming together as a community to reaffirm our values, and it's unbelievable that we have to come together actually to fight against the idea that there would be a religious registry, that there would be a religious registry based on one particular faith, to single out one particular faith. People fled all over the world, for the most part, when they came to this country for religious freedom. And that in one way is in many ways the founding principle of our democracy, is freedom of choice. So we come here today to pledge allegiance not only to our country but to our Constitution, that the founding fathers and mothers really had foresight in saying that there would be freedom in this country. So thank you to Supervisor Hillary Ronen, thank you to Supervisor Malia Cohen, and thank you to Mayor Lee for leading on this and affirming our values as a city, that we stand here to say we are going to always fight for what's right, and we are always going to fight for freedom, democracy, and the ones that have the least voice in our city. Thank you very much. Hala. Our own Commissioner, Hala Hijazi.
Good morning, and assalamu alaikum. My name is Hala Hijazi, and I serve on the Human Rights Commission. I want to acknowledge Cheryl Davis, our Executive Director, and Michael Pappas, also the Commissioner. Please stand so they know that all the work that you guys do on behalf of the Commission.
Just want to make sure we can hear you.
Thank you. As you know, most of you that know me know that I don't normally need this, but I'm under the weather, so I'm going to go with my cards. Our community is grateful for Mayor Lee's urgency and work on authoring and moving this ordinance forward, and his history of unwavering support of our diverse communities and protection of advancements of our civil rights. Mayor Lee's show of leadership, especially by authoring this precedent-setting ordinance, is extraordinary and has reaffirmed to our entire nation what San Francisco's values are and to what lengths we will go to protect the lives, livelihood, dignity, and human and constitutional rights of our citizens. This ordinance, again, the first of its kind in the country, not only prohibits local agencies from participating in discriminatory special registration programs, but also creates a private cause of action to sue to hold each of us accountable in the city and county of San Francisco. A special thank you also to Supervisors Malia Cohen, Hillary Ronen, Jeff Sheehy, and Sandra Fuhrer for working on this ordinance with our major amazing organizations from San Francisco and the Bay Area. Now, the mayor and the city leadership are not about symbolism, they are about action. And I just really want to acknowledge Mayor Lee. If everyone can stand up and give him a hand applause. The mayor not only cares just about our constitutional rights, our economic rights and empowerment, he cares about this psychological warfare that has been put down upon us by this president that neither respects himself, neither respects the office of the presidency. So this is leadership. This entire row is what America looks like. This is what every mayor in this country should look like. The day after the election, the mayor began a series of meetings with community groups, staffs, attorneys, and the city attorney to see what's needed to be done immediately. This quick action planning has made us already ready. We are one of the first cities in the country to file a federal lawsuit against presidential administration's executive order regarding the sanctuary cities. We believe the administration's threat to withhold federal funding is misguided and definitely unconstitutional. Under the mayor's Pathway to Citizenship program, more than 6,500 people have applied for citizen application, and almost 10,000, can you believe it? 10,000 eligibility screenings have occurred and 23 workshops. The mayor has doubled funding to nonprofit and community-based organizations for immigrant legal services. We have committed over $14 million over the next 2 years for immigration-related services. This is more per capita than any other city. In addition to the funding, the mayor also activated our major philanthropic corporate donors to assist in legal services for immigrants. As a result, the San Francisco Interfaith Council has created an interfaith immigration defense, independent fund for immigration defense. So whoever needs funding, this is the guy you need to come talk to. So in addition to our leadership, I also want to acknowledge our city attorney, Herrera. I want to acknowledge our district attorney, Gascon, and I especially want to acknowledge our police chief, Chief Scott, for his leadership. When the bans happened, he was the first person to call and reach out. Because of his leadership, every Friday during our prayers, there are police officers at every mosque in San Francisco to make sure that there's no incidences in hate crime. There's nobody attacking them while they're going to worship and to exercise their First Amendment rights. So please give a hand for Police Chief Scott. I also want to acknowledge Tom O'Connor from the San Francisco Fire Association, Firefighters POA. We just lost one of our own. Trump does not realize we have firefighters that are Muslim that are putting out fires and protecting us. We have police officers like Mikhail Ali, who's a commander who has been a public servant for over 30 years. So thank you, Tom, and thank you for showing leadership by taking them to the mosque and showing respect to our deceased. Thank you. So now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Jihan Hakim. When we talk about love, we talk about dignity, we talk about citizenship, we talk about activism, we talking about Jihan Hakim, who works with the Asian Law Caucus, who's a community organizer, who gets out the vote, who may not have gone to law school, but she knows her law, and who will protect each one of you. We thought it's important to have the legal representation, but we also thought it was also powerful to have the community representation for people that are on the ground, on the streets of San Francisco, at the airports. And Jihan is an immigrant. She was, sorry, not an immigrant. She was born and raised, guess where, you guys? Tenderloin, in San Francisco. Trump wants to ban her and put her on a registry. Well, she can't go anywhere because she was born and raised on our streets. So I wanted, before I introduce Jihan, I wanted to get Nasrina, Alika, and Zahra. Come here, Jihan. Come here. This is an Afghani, Nasrina Afghani, Muslim lawyer. Afghan. Alika, Persian Muslim lawyer. Zahra, Muslim Pakistani Indian lawyer. And this, Arab Palestinian from Jordan. And this one from Yemen. This is who we are, and this is San Francisco.
Wow. I don't know what to say now. Good morning, everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to Mayor Lee, Supervisors Cohen and Safai, and the Commission on Human Rights Commission, Hala Hijazi, for your remarks and your strong leadership. I'm proud to join you to celebrate Mayor Lee's signing of this ordinance. As a San Francisco native, I've known for a long time that the city of San Francisco has been a national champion in public policy. Now more than ever, our communities need the leadership that we have seen from the city of San Francisco and the mayor today. This law will act against any attempt made by the president to create a discriminatory registry based on religion, national origin, or ethnicity. What makes this ordinance a landmark is the robust steps the city has taken both in content and in private action, which serves as a strong deterrent and accountability mechanism. The city insists San Francisco will resist a discriminatory database of its citizens. I am honored to have worked with the city to pass this ordinance in partnership with the organization that I work with, the Asian Law Caucus, the Council on American Islamic Relations of San Francisco Bay Area, CARE, the Alliance of South Asians Taking Action, ASADA, ACLU of Northern California, AROC, the NLG, and SEIU Local 87. Thank you all. Our organizations collaborated. And advocated on this ordinance, and we will be working to uplift San Francisco as a model. As a member of the impacted community myself, a Yemeni American, this ordinance is especially significant to my family, my friends, and my loved ones. It will ensure that our communities feel safe and protected while at work, while they're at home, while they're on the streets of the city. I am so proud to recognize this community for being persistent and showing up at hearings, sharing their concerns during public comments, and for working with the community organizations and the city. I see you all and I thank you. I know firsthand it is not easy to show up as a visibly Muslim person under this political climate, and I admire your courage. A big thank you to the Public Safety Committee for making this ordinance robust. A very warm thank you to the supervisors who are not present right now, Supervisors Ronan, Sheehy, and Fuller, and the rest of the board and their staff. Thank you all. The mayor, City of San Francisco, organizations, and the community, through this ordinance have shown a commitment to not let the past repeat itself. Our fight to keep immigrant communities and communities of color safe against the federal government's onslaught is far from over. But the city has shown that we will craft creative solutions that can shield residents. We look forward to our continued partnership with the city to fight against federal policies that will scapegoat the vulnerable. Now I'll pass it back to Mayor Ed Lee. Thank you all.
Let me also acknowledge, just joining us, Supervisor Chandelier Feeler, Supervisor Jane Kim, Supervisor Norman Yee, and Supervisor Katie Tang. Thank you for joining the rest of the board. All right. No registry in San Francisco.